Most likely, you are a high achiever. You have an appetite for success. And if you're anything like me, you want to really dive into um, your life's purpose and to live a rich, exciting, rewarding, and beautiful life. And the topic for today's video is something that I've been well aware of for years, and it's actually something that I'm reminded of almost daily. And I think you are too, but it's just sometimes it's a matter of shining light and really giving certain concepts and frameworks the light that is necessary to understand its impact on your life. And I often talk about this life as a life experience, because I really feel like we are all experiencing this life due to a few things. Obviously, we can probably in a later video get into nature versus nurture, but I will never say that what you were born into, or maybe the parents that you have, or certain circumstances that are out of our power, I will never say that those things don't matter. But I truly believe reaching 30 years old this year, that when you start to age, when you are no longer under your parents' roof, or no longer dependent on someone to take care of you and to guide you, it becomes apparent that your life experience is primarily determined by what you consume. And by consume, I mean, yes, meals on a daily basis, but also information, entertainment, content in many different forms. And I say this to say that you have to be very careful about your input, because your input, you will soon realize, if you haven't already, predetermines your output. You cannot have a rich life if you are not consuming rich things. You cannot be healthy if your input is not healthy. It's impossible. You have to have one in order to create the other. And so this leads me to the topic today that I'm going to either create fans or encourage debate. Either way, I'm all for it. In fact, I love having conversations with people who don't agree with me. I think that's one of the beautiful things about life, is crossing paths with people who you can have real substantive discussions with and debate with. I think conflict in that sense is good. So I'm sure you might have an idea of how you can accomplish your goals, how you can be successful. You might be an avid reader. Maybe you listen to lots of YouTube videos, or we all have sort of the people we go to for that type of information. But I want to challenge everything that you have been led to believe. And to give you context, I want to first help you understand what I have gone through in order to get to this conclusion. But I think in the United States and in most parts of the world, we are told by our parents, usually, which comes from societal expectations, that we need to do well in school in order to attend higher education and get a degree so that we can get that job. This is the typical, I guess you could say, path to career success. But I would like to go beyond just career aspirations. And I believe that this one ingredient, if you have this one trait, and if you can practice this one thing every single day without question, I can guarantee you that you will accomplish anything that you set your mind to. And what I said about higher education, I think is important because many people believe that they need a degree or certain credibility or certain knowledge in order to get from point A to point B. If you want incredible results, you need to have incredible determination. What does that mean? First of all, in order to be incredibly determined, you must first have a very clear vision. You need to know exactly what you want. This is something that I have struggled with for many years, if not my entire life. I have always been the type of person who has been hot and cold when it comes to their goals. I have wanted many different things, and I've jumped around, and I've tried this, I've tried that, I've dibbled and dabbled. And I think that is a necessary experience that you need to go through in order to find clarity and just understand yourself better. I say this all the time. As much as we all want to know exactly what we want to do, you also need to know what you don't want to do. Knowing what you don't like, what you're not good at, is as valuable as knowing what you like and the path that you want to commit to. For example, I spent several years exploring the more creative side of myself, and I became a video producer. I was often working on multiple photo and video shoots over those years, and it was a great time, but it turned out to not be the right path for me, but it got me closer to where I am today. Don't be afraid to try things that could lead you down the right or wrong path. It's okay. You don't need to have it figured out. The most important part is to go in a direction for long enough to get to a point where you can honestly tell yourself, okay, I like this path. I'm going to continue down this path. I want to do this thing. Or actually, I don't like this thing. Now I want to try this thing. You have to spend enough time and put enough effort into that direction in order to really benefit from what I'm getting at here. But after you have a clear vision and you know what you want, incredible determination is something that I have seen in so many, if not every single person who has reached their definition of success. Alex Hormozi talks about the rule of 100, and I love this rule because basically he says most people are not willing to do the work. Your competitors, the people who you are so afraid of, are most likely not willing to put in the effort that's needed to accomplish a certain goal. And I want you to realize this because procrastination, doubt, all of these things are in every single one of us. And we are all struggling with these internal battles. And I think effort is a very big one. If you are not willing to put in the effort to reach your goal, then you will never realize that goal. So Alex talks about the rule of 100s. What does that mean? It means if I used to work in sales and I would make cold calls. Every day I would set a goal to call 100 people. You can apply this to anything that you're doing. Do it 100 times. When I do push-ups, sit-ups, squats, I always do 100. What this will do is it will start to train your mind to overcome adversity, and you become more durable, and quite frankly, you become more mentally strong, because eventually you will get to a point where you realize no one in this room, no one in my school, my work, in this world will outwork me. When you get to that point, I promise you, so many doors will open and you will stop acting from a place of fear. And I think that incredible determination is something that a lot of people need to investigate. You need to understand it. You need to adopt it, embody it, and practice it. I am willing to bet my life on it, that if you have incredible determination, you almost don't need anything else. You don't need to go to an Ivy League school. You don't need money. You don't need so many things that we are led to believe that we need. Incredible determination is really a cheat code, I think. I've been practicing it in my life. I recently, just to give you an example here, I have been looking for a remote job to sort of act as my primary source of income. And it's been difficult because I have very specialized knowledge in marketing. And in the United States, remote jobs are very competitive. And it has literally taken me nearly a year to find that job. And I have a spreadsheet where I saved every single application with notes and everything that was required to submit. And over the span of a year, almost a year, I applied to over 500 jobs. I can't even tell you how much time that took to do, but it was hundreds of hours, easily. But through incredible determination, I found the job that was just right for me. And I want you to apply this to your life and your goals, and be clear about what you want, and have that incredible determination, and anything is possible.